the thing about it, when the kind of shit that we see on a daily basis is stuff like this, and as a parent, you just lost a grandbaby, and you're gonna lose your daughter because she's 19. So if she's charged with murder, it's an adult deal.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers with my pearl handle pistol cufflinks coming to you with our content genius behind the camera, and Michael Rivers, who is my boss, basically. I mean, he's handsome, he's daring, he's one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life. So you guys, in the comments, give a lot of love to the guy behind the camera, the brains behind the operation. Because this was his idea, and we kind of talked about this case a little bit. This presents a lot of issues that are kind of interesting to talk about. And it's about a teenager who took her baby after giving birth and put it in the garbage. Before we get to that, this is brought to you by eSign.com. eSign.com, a very effective way to remotely do business. I use it all the time when people are out of state or they can't come into the office. Or if you need a power of attorney or some other kind of document done quickly, like right now, eSign.com is the most effective way. You download the app, you get 3 free signatures. If it's not eSign, no one signs. Okay, let's get right to this because so she's in the. We're gonna do this in a couple different phases. One is a video of her in the hospital, and then we're also gonna do a reaction to her arrest. And when you're dealing with teens, you're not dealing with a full deck. You're not dealing with somebody, number one, who's fully developed. Number two, you're also dealing with issues that, do you remember the video of the woman who killed a couple people who was drunk, and she was in college, and she thought she was going to go to class the next day? If class was 15 years later, maybe. But you deal with people who are not thinking rationally. So let's just...
He came out at me and I didn't know what to do. Lexi, I told you about this.
You are detained. You are not free to leave at this point. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What?
So, you hear that? The full term? That was I assume that's the mother, and she didn't know that her daughter was even pregnant. And this raises some issues about abortion and whether a fetus is a human being, and there's all kinds of, if you kill a pregnant mother, drunk driving, you can be charged with 2 deaths.
So we started working her up. We did a pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She was a 9, that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We kept knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was blood.
One of the things there's 2 things that really drive teen decision-making. 1 are peers, and 2 are parents. The pressure that they feel from both can be enormous, and sometimes they can just go to extreme lengths to avoid uncomfortable or difficult situations, but in doing so, they make it 10 times worse.
Everywhere, she was cleaning it up. So we took her back to the room, and I was afraid that she knew she was pregnant. She had done something to herself. So the doctor started doing an exam on her. We had the lady come to clean the bathroom. She put the baby in the trash can, and then she put another clean liner over the top of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag. The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid.
Yeah. How old was the baby?
I don't know. It's full term. She just had it. She had it in the bathroom. Was what happened, and then whatever.
Full term. So that means it is a live human being, and according, I assume this is one of the doctors or one of the hospital staff, and this is But think about it. For a child to put another child in a garbage can, and make no mistake, she is a child. She's not a little child. She's a young woman, but it really, it's a very irrational thing to do.
Sure she did. I don't know. She's gonna lie. She wouldn't tell us she's pregnant. She's been lying the whole time.
Okay.
So that's what's going on. I just pulled the doctor out of the room, so nothing's been said to the patient or the
Yeah.
mother that's in there yet.
Okay.
I have Leela, the housekeeper, if you want to interview her.
Yeah, I
She's
want-
the one that kind of found under
Yeah, because I
the
wanted to get with you guys first and then get with her
Right.
to get her statement before I even do anything.
Well, I'm the charge, and this is what has happened.
Okay.
You can interview the nurse that had her,
Okay.
the two nurses that were taking care of her. You can talk to the tech, which is Lori. She's the one that went in there and actually found it, because Leela's like, this is really heavy.
I take that back. She's not a child for legal purposes. She's 19 years old. And this happened in New Mexico.
Okay.
So then Lori went in there, and then of course the baby was underneath the clean liner.
Okay. Yeah, if we can speak with Lori, because I
Okay,
would
I'll
her
get
statement,
Lori, and I'll
get-
get
I'll get you checked.
So, officer, piece the first thing though is I need to make sure that the mother, the woman who delivered the baby, is medically stable. I don't know if she delivered a placenta. She's bleeding a lot. I just got
If she intentionally induced her own pregnancy or pulled the baby out of there, that could be life-threatening.
accepted to Loveless, so I need to get her up there as soon as possible.
Okay. I'll get you checked as well, right?
Okay, so how I need to tell her what's going on, and I need to tell the mother what's going. The mother, they're both in there together. Is one of you willing to be present for that conversation?
And I'll go in there.
Are you guys going?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go in right
sure.
now and do this.
While we're doing that, I'll
And
get
then
with
I'll make sure Leela comes out. All the other nurses and stuff are here, and I'll get Leela here.
Okay.
Cause she's in there. Hey, Marina, will you get Leela back down here? Marina?
10 years ago, you'd never see this footage. When you have the body cams do a lot for a lot of people. They protect officers, honestly, good cops, and they expose bad cops. But they also give you a bird's eye view of exactly what this call is all about.
I'm sorry, there's we discovered a dead baby in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
All right, that's got to be her mother sitting there. And her mother's sitting there, and guess what? That's probably the closest they'll ever be from here on out, because they aren't going to, it's going to be glass in between them once she gets taken into custody.
Sorry. He came out at me and I didn't know what to do. Lexi, I told you about this.
But it
I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
it was not crying or nothing.
What did you do to it?
Okay, stop right here.
I
Stop,
just
stop.
The thing about it, when the kind of shit that we see on a daily basis is stuff like this. And as a parent, you just lost a grandbaby, and you're going to lose your daughter because she's 19. So if she's charged with murder, it's an adult deal.
Number one priority, guys. Number one priority is she just had a baby. I don't know if she's delivered the placenta. She's bleeding significantly.
Yeah.
I've spoken to the obstetrician at Loveless. They want her up there as soon as possible.
Okay.
Obviously need your permission to transfer her for medicals. She needs to
She's
be
19.
Oh, you're right.
But she is a student too.
She's
No,
still
no,
19
you're
years
right.
old.
You're right. She needs to. I'm sorry, I forgot she's
A
19.
lot came out of me.
You need to make sure that you're safe. I need to send you to Loveless to labor delivery. Will you please agree to that?
Yes.
Yes.
I,
Okay, great. I'm gonna work on that. I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
and nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
I know.
Now, here's the thing. If I'm the lawyer for this young lady, the defense is that it was dead when it came out. It was a miscarriage. That would be a defense. There will definitely be some science behind whether or not the child was, and basically they can test the blood to see if there's any oxygen in the blood. There's all kinds of other things that they can do to test whether the baby was alive or dead when delivered.
I know. But the baby's gonna have to be taken for autopsy and there'll be an investigator and everything. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But we need to do this correctly.
Can you imagine dealing with this? I mean, as a parent, I mean, that's why I'm saying that, because I'm a parent. I can't imagine the stress that the mom is going through, let alone what this young lady is going through.
And I want to be transparent with you about what our steps are going to be. Okay. Officer, do you guys need to talk to her before we get her transferred?
How long is it going to be before you have to transfer
I
out?
don't know. Are we working on?
Okay.
Marina, do you think 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, hopefully.
So she is detained, and if she's detained, guess what? That invokes what? Miranda. So I haven't heard them Mirandize her yet, but they have to do that if they want to talk to her.
Yes.
Okay.
I got detectives on the way, so
Okay.
they're going to be talking to her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you guys have, I'm the charge nurse here, do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months? Nothing was crying. Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail? Nothing was crying.
Any other questions? Okay.
Right. So as of right now, like I said, is we're going to have the detectives come over here and they're going to talk to you. Okay. We have to gather some more information about what's going on. They'll get your statement. They're going to get the doctor's statements. They're going to get everybody's statements. Okay. So I don't know everything yet. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you.
And here's the thing. You have, so you got the autopsy happening, right? And you have the delivery, and then you've got some medical intervention that happens in between. You know, they find the baby in the garbage can, then they work on the baby, and I don't know, you know, I'm not privy to any of this stuff, but one of the things, would that medical intervention interrupt anything that would, any evidence of life or death of that baby beforehand, you know, because if it does, that might be an opening for the defense to say, no, the baby was stillborn.
I can't tell you nothing honestly. Okay. All I can
But
say
she's
is
not gonna go to jail.
right now. Right.
Could she go to jail? Yeah, she's going to fucking jail. No question in my mind, she's going to jail.
Right now, she's being detained, so she's not going to leave from here at all. Period. Okay. So one of us will
Is
be
it in your custody? Like,
Yeah, she's detained. Yeah, she's not under arrest, but she is detained. Okay, she's not free.
She's not under arrest, but she's bullshit. She's under arrest. What's the difference between being detained and under arrest? Well, one is being restricted of your liberty, and the other one is being restricted of your liberty. Detained and arrested are basically the same thing. So either way, you're detained, you still have to give Miranda.
Leave. So while this whole thing is coming up, is you're not free to leave. Okay, one of us will be in here the whole time.
Well, if she's, I love this. You know, she's not under arrest, but she's detained.
I'm with you, because you're not going to try to leave or nothing like that.
She
All right.
won't.
Like I said, the detectives will be here. They're going to talk to you. I mean, your care is of the utmost right now. Okay, they're going to do what they need to do to take care of you to make sure you get stable. They get you transferred out or whatever. Like I said, the detectives are ready.
Best thing she could do right now is ask for a lawyer for her. Because once she asks for a lawyer, they can't ask her any questions.
Been notified. They're already on the way. So they're going to come talk to you. All right? So don't leave. Don't try to do nothing. One of us is always going to be in here, in this room with you, okay? Unless we have to step out for doctor's orders, something like that, because if they need to examine you or do something with you. But other than that, like I said, you are detained. You are not free to leave at this point. Do you understand that?
yes, sir.
Okay.
That's the same thing as being under arrest.
Where was the baby at?
I don't know. I have no clue yet. Like I said, I just talked to the charge nurse. We're still getting all the information right now.
Okay.
Okay. Once we get that information, like I said, the detectives, they can clue you in on everything and talk to you more about it.
Okay.
All right. So. Do you happen to have an ID on you, perchance?
Yes, she does.
Okay. Can we get that? collected all that information. Called.
Even though she's 19, she's still a little girl in the mother's eyes. When I was 19, I thought I knew everything. It wasn't until much later that I realized how much I didn't know. And the brain of a 19-year-old, male or female, is underdeveloped.
Call it in to the so not on radio.
Oh, okay.
Hang tight right here with her, okay? I'll be back. Ma'am, could we get your ID also, please?
Yes.
Could we put you?
Yep.
You have anything calm on your hair, okay?
All right.
Can I step out? I'm gonna call my husband.
Yes. Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'll be back.
Exactly 7:30. Hey, could you do me a favor, run these two and add to the record call? Okay, it'll be New Mexico DL, both of them, whenever you're ready.
Where did you put the baby at? Tell me the truth.
In there.
517.
That came out in the toilet.
Now, this is a conversation between mother and daughter, not privileged. So, and the cop is right there. So even if she would have invoked Miranda, a conversation between the two of them would be fair game.
You put it in the bag?
Yes.
Yeah.
In what bag? Why did you say anything to us? Do you want to get in trouble for this now? You could get in trouble for this, baby.
Mom, alright, just give it time, okay? I'm going to speak to the detectives whenever she's ready, okay? You ready for the second one?
See, if I'm the cop, I'd kick mom out of there because mom has the potential to manipulate what she's going to tell the cops.
Second. Last three of that second one? The last three of the second one is 333.
Let's see. There we go.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Okay, Lexi. I know it's kind of tough right now, okay? I know you're scared, I know everything else, okay? As of right now, I cannot allow your mom to be here with you, okay? So, once the detectives get here, then she may be able to come back in here. But as of right now, I can't allow her to be back in here, okay? If you need something, we're not going to stay in here, okay? Because I think it makes it worse that we're here anyway, alright, obviously. And I know you're scared. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay on the outside of the door, okay? As long as you promise me you're not going to hurt yourself, okay? Like I said, this is a lot. I know it is, okay? You're young, I don't want to be in here kind of adding to your anxiety and everything else, okay? If you need something, just push that button, okay? And then they'll come in there. They're on the way, okay? Okay? So as soon as they get here, they're going to talk to you. I mean, the reason why... Your mom, well, not yet. But I can't let her come back in here yet. Yeah, once they get here, then it's up to the detective to get out to them if you can come back here. If they're okay with her coming back here, then you can come back here, okay? The reason why is because you're an adult, you're 19 years old, okay? If you're a juvenile, I would gladly have her back in here, okay? But when you're an adult, I can't have you. So, if you have any questions, like I said, push that.
Can I go and sign some forms?
Yeah.
This is giving us permission and time for you to witness. Dr. Berry is going to take them. You sign here.
One of the things that is interesting that this is, out there publicly and you have her receiving medical treatment. Arguably, that might be a violation of the HIPAA laws, but it is what it is.
Baby. Put the baby in the bag. Full baby. She had the baby with the full baby.
Right. She's still in there. She's going to get airlifted out, transferred out because she's still, whatever she's got going on or whatever. So they're going to transfer her out.
The housekeeper, I didn't talk to her too much. Just got a brief statement from her, got her information, and then the nurse had actually went in there and got the baby and opened the bag, and then they rushed her to the baby into trauma 1, and then that's when they started working. The baby was regained. So I got the bathroom closed off, and then I got the trauma room closed off because the trauma room, the housekeeper went in there because they called her to go clean it up. So obviously before she checked the trash can, she cleaned everything up. When she threw everything in the trash can, she looked it up, felt it was heavy, put it down. When she looked in there, that's when she saw the baby. Right now, yeah.
Now imagine being that housekeeper where you discover this baby. That would be jarring in a garbage can. It takes a certain level of not either understanding what you're doing or callousness, and disregarding the coldness of what you're doing to just put a baby in the garbage can.
So then they took obviously the baby in the trash can, trauma 1, put the baby on the table, and then that's whenever they everything in there.
Come on, I'll take it away.
But other than that, so I got both of those closed off.
Cool. Hospital's complaint? Hospital's complaint? And cleaned it up?
Well, see, she was cleaning it up first, so she was in there. So she said she actually we were here because one of our other guys got arrested earlier, and she said, hey, she needs to go to the bathroom. And so they had her go to the bathroom. About 10 minutes later, they went to knock on the door, but she didn't come out. So they're like, hey, are you okay? Check on her. She's like, yeah. Didn't want to come out, didn't want to come out. Gave her another, 10 minutes. And then they said, well, no.
But imagine, she's delivering this baby on her own and just freaking out. She had to be freaking out. And in the whole, disassociation between this is my child to this is garbage, it's just staggering to me. It's just absolutely staggering.
Just sprayed around water. And the silver truck was running. They had to bring the unit out. But then the jacks had to drive down the chute. The jacks frozen out because they couldn't put them in.
I used to drive an ambulance before, while I was going through college. And one of the times we had to go take this woman out of this big mansion, and she couldn't care for herself anymore, and she told us, the sheriff was there as well, and they said, can you get my suitcase? And it was a small suitcase like this, and we give it to her, and we take her to the hospital, later to find out that in that suitcase was the corpse of a dead baby. Old, super old. This is an old woman, and she had been keeping this for ages. And it's just, the mind is an incredible thing. And the different things that people do, either to other people or to themselves, is just, it never ceases to amaze me, the different things that, can happen, especially during, postpartum depression, miscarriages. Having a baby can be an incredibly beautiful thing, but it can also be a very traumatic thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Alexi, so you're getting transported, okay? So you're not detained no more. The detectives will be contacting you, okay? So they'll get a hold of you. So let me get your safety number real quick.
My mom has it.
Okay, give me a good phone number for you? Cell phone number?
My mom's is.
So you heard the officer say that she wasn't detained. And one of the things about a case like this is they can't charge her until they get the evidence. And the evidence isn't going to come until the medical examiner does their thing. They do their autopsy. And that's when they need an opinion that this was a homicide. If you don't have that, you don't have a homicide. So not long after this, I think this was January, And then I think like in April or so, she went to prom. You know, she's probably, and here's the thing about the teenage brain. Out of sight, out of mind. You know, teenagers are more dangerous than toddlers, honestly. Toddlers, you know, you're worried about them, you know, falling and hitting, you know, a corner of a piece of furniture or whatever. And we were always there to kind of collect them, right? Teenagers are out and about with a vehicle, with making decisions about their bodies, about this and that. We're not there to catch them. That's what makes them more dangerous. And they don't see the consequences of their actions. I see it all the time in juvenile cases. So, look at this picture of her smiling with her prom date in April. A few months later, she is probably thinking, probably not thinking. She's probably, that whole thing with the baby never even happened in her mind's eye. But in May, they come to arrest her. So in May, let's watch the arrest. This is New Mexico. And so they have to get a warrant from a judge to arrest her. Because you can't arrest somebody without a warrant unless there's circumstances, you know, an exception to the warrant requirement.
Alexi.
And this comes out of the blue for her, just absolutely out of the blue.
Yeah, I think they went out of town.
Okay, what's going on? What are we doing? I'll bring her out. Just tell me what's going on.
She's going for her arrest.
Okay,
I will give it to her whenever
can I see her?
she can see the warrant when she gets arrested.
This is my house. I
Right.
have a right to see the warrant.
I'm letting you know she has a warrant for her arrest. We don't have a search warrant for your house. We have a warrant for her arrest.
Okay, can we see the warrant?
Yeah, once we,
She gets a copy of it.
Can I go up there when you take her up there?
You can go to the detention. Do you know where it is?
Everything?
So you really don't want to give cops like this a hard time when they're executing a warrant. It just isn't going to end well.
So what is she under arrest for?
She's over 18. She's got a copy.
I understand that,
Right.
Detective Gonzalez.
And here's the thing. If she's been indicted, the indictment in all likelihood would be sealed until she appears in court. So they can't, and I don't know if she was indicted or not, but so if they're not telling the mom, that's probably why they're not telling her. Or you also don't want to spill the beans because, you know, it might escalate the situation and she might do something to herself.
Right.
What is she under arrest for?
She has a warrant for arrest. Okay?
For what?
That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay?
What do you mean that's all you're going to tell me?
And if you don't get out of the fucking way, we are going to arrest you.
she's over the age of 18.
I understand that, but I have a right to know as well.
And we'll tell you that, but we
Okay,
we
then
need
let
the
me know now.
We need the cooperation.
Let me know now. I'm giving you the cooperation. I told you answer my question. What is she under arrest for?
Like I said, she's over the age of 18. Like, that we can't really put that information, but if you bring her out here, we'll tell you.
What is she under
If
arrest
you bring her out here,
for?
we'll tell you right in front of you.
No, I'm not bringing her out here yet. Let me know what she's under.
Now that's a problem because you're harboring a fugitive knowing she has an arrest warrant.
She's gonna
Arrest
get
for?
arrested regardless. I mean, I don't know where you're
For what? For what? For what?
What do you think? Where were you in January? You got any clue?
Are you okay with telling me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell me.
Homicide. Open count of homicide. And tampering with evidence.
Tampering with evidence
Yes.
at the hospital?
Yes.
So, can we see her now?
Give me a minute.
Okay.
I have a right to see a warrant. It doesn't matter if she's over the age of 18. This is my house. You have a right. You have to show me that warrant.
If we were searching your house.
Even if she's under arrest, you have to show me
No, they don't. They don't have to show her Jack.
the
It's
warrant.
up to her to show us.
Sarah, this is Rodriguez. Hey, I have have the detectives here.
Do you know how many times I get calls from clients who the cops are there and they grab their phone and say, "Here, talk to my lawyer"? Generally doesn't do much. All I try to do in those situations, talk to the officers, and sometimes they won't even talk to me. But sometimes I'll talk to the officers, and then I'll find out why they're there, and then I'll call my client down, and then just say, don't talk to them, do what they tell you to, but don't give any statement.
They want to arrest my daughter. They're saying they have a warrant, but they can't show me a warrant for her arrest. Okay, thank you so much.
Now, they should have had a lawyer all this time. And one of the things a lawyer would do is contact the prosecutor's office and say, look, we know that a warrant is probably coming. Just give us a heads up so I can have her turn herself in. And sometimes you get good prosecutors that say, no problem, and they will do that. And sometimes they don't give a shit and they want to see your client get taken into custody in his most embarrassing and violent fashion as possible.
You good?
So we're 3 minutes into this, and she's still not complying with the officers. These officers are very patient.
When we get to there, I'll give you a copy. She gets her copy. And then it's up to her.
Can I see the warrant?
It's an arrest warrant for her. It's
Okay,
not a
can I
search
see
warrant
the
for your
arrest warrant?
house.
I want to see the arrest warrant.
And what will that prove?
You bet when this is over, I'm coming for the police department and the hospital. I am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm coming after the police department for what? For executing a lawful arrest warrant?
Gary, this is Brooke. Gary, the detectives out here they're wanting to arrest.
See, this is almost 4 months later, and you would think that, I guarantee you they thought that they were out of the woods.
Okay. So I guess do I do it?
If she doesn't produce a daughter pretty fucking quick, she's going to get arrested for obstruction and possibly harboring a fugitive.
You can arrest mom for obstruction.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Trying to do that.
Protective there.
They said it's local statements, homicide, and tampering with evidence.
You see her?
Okay.
You know, when your kid gets arrested, it is traumatic for the child and for you. I mean, as a parent, it just sucks.
Okay.
Probably just nosy neighbors.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, she's here. She's here right now.
All right, well, they know she's there by that statement, so
Yeah.
hopefully she's on the phone with a lawyer telling her what to do.
Could you please have a report of a
That is his policy.
I will give it to you. Please don't. Please don't.
He ran away from 1002 West
Yeah,
Washington.
it's nothing personal. It really isn't. And we understand. But we have to do our...
See, and this is the way, these cops are being super nice. They're just executing a lawful order. Mom is freaking out, as anybody would do, especially if it's a homicide. There's some people in our society that aren't afforded the patience of the cops. I'm just going to leave that there.
Jobs too. Okay?
I understand that. I understand that.
Who's this?
That's Melanie. That's Devin's mom. She's good. She's okay.
We're not going to be rough with her or anything. We're just going to take her over there and book her.
Please don't be rough with her, please.
Just bring her out. You can be with her the entire time. Okay?
Do you know where the public safety complex is? 3300 West Main?
You can follow us over there. I will take you there. You can follow me over there.
As soon as I release the criminal complaint to her, she can then give it to you there, okay?
When can I get, like, her bond? What?
That's set up by the judge. It's Magistrate Judge Chuck.
So right now, sometimes when you get in this situation, there's a bond that's already in place. In other words, there's a warrant, but you can post this amount of, when you get to jail, and you can get in and out really quick. Most of the time, especially on homicides, you're going to have a situation where the warrant is issued and it's a hold without bail. So you can't get bail set till you see a judge.
Foster, he should be doing it if it's after 3, he'll be doing it in the morning. Go on the back? Alright.
Hi. What's your name?
Lexi.
Okay. What's the last 4 of your social?
She don't even know it.
You don't know it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Alexia, do you know your date of birth?
Yes.
Okay.
What is it?
11/25/03.
Yeah.
Do you have to walk her all the way over there? Can you bring your car up there?
It's up to you.
Yeah.
That's all. Just please.
I'll go get it.
God, I mean, they're being afforded every, courtesy. And then we're now 7 minutes and 43 seconds into this. Some people's doors just get torn down, like Afroman when they executed that warrant.
Alexia, are you okay with your mom getting your criminal complaint when we get to the detention center? It has your personal information on it.
Can you repeat that?
Are you okay with your mother getting the criminal complaint? It has your personal identifying information on it. Serial number, date of birth.
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. I have to serve you first, then your mom can get it, okay?
Okay.
I do. He's gonna move his unit around. No medications, anything you need to take while you're in there?
No, sir. No.
Okay.
She has still been,
Oh, and by the way, how was prom? Was prom delicious event for you to go to?
like, bleeding. So I don't know if she needs.
Do you have any? I don't know if they have tampons.
They do have feminine products.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure if you take your own, you can use your own if you need it.
Can she? Do you want to grab some? Can she grab some of that right quick? Or?
Yes.
Do you mind if
Get your little bag.
one of us goes with you?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
See, you don't want to let from the law enforcement standpoint, you don't want them to go back into a room and go, they can get a weapon, they can hurt themselves, they can take off. So that's why he's coming in there.
Just making sure you're doing.
Just grab me a little.
Okay. And just nothing sharp, no flammables, nothing sharp, okay? Okay, they're gonna check it when you get over there, okay?
Okay.
Confirms that address is 611 North 1st Street. 611 North 1st.
Okay, we'll check those when you, same thing, okay? They're gonna check all that when you get over there, okay? Thank you.
I'm going up there right now too, okay?
Alright, what's in there?
Personal pads.
Personal pads?
Yeah, she needs them.
Follow me.
3300 West Main Street, the Public Safety Complex. If you just go through the front door, you know where we first spoke in the records?
Yeah.
If you just go over there. Is there any four?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll meet her in the front.
Okay. I'll get with him and do all stuff, go to dispatch.
Okay. I'll meet you in the front, okay?
We're Tampa. I'll be headed your way shortly.
And that's traumatic watching your kid get handcuffed. There's no, unless you're used to it, and then if you're used to it, then you got other problems, much more serious.
Or relay the rest.
I'll be headed your way for the relay shortly. Lexi, here's your criminal complaint. Why I want to ask you before I give it to your mom, are you okay with her getting that information?
Criminal complaint is the document that charges the person with the crime. And in this case, she's charged with first-degree murder.
Serial number, all that?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like me, would you want to keep this to read or would you want to give this to your mom, or would you want her to have a copy?
You can just give it to her.
Okay, you don't want to read it?
Right now, yeah, I will.
Okay. All right, the next one is a search warrant for your person. Okay? This is for you. Your date of birth, your social security number. I'm going to be searching your person. What I'm going to be doing is getting a buccal swab sufficient for laboratory testing. Okay? This is both yours to keep. Okay? I'll make a copy so you can read it and your mom can get one, okay? Have you ever been to the doctor's office?
Like, recently?
No, just in your life.
Yes.
Okay, you know when they do a swab of your mouth to see if you have a cold, something like that?
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to be doing. All I need you to do is open your mouth wide, like you're yawning. I'm just going to...
So even though they have an arrest warrant and she's been charged with murder 1, they still need to link her up to that baby. And how are they going to do that? DNA. That's what the buccal swab is for, or buccal swab, however you want to say it.
Your mouth with a swab, with a cotton swab. That's all I need, okay? It's painless. There's nothing else added to it. It's just cotton, okay? Here. All right, can you open your mouth for me? Okay. All right. Almost done. All right. Now I'm just going to do one more pair, okay? Okay, one more time, okay? I want to do the other side of your mouth. All right, that's it. You don't want to read them? Well, of course, I'll pick one. Right here. 3, 2.
So now that she's been arrested, she'll go before a judge, and the judge will set bond. Hopefully she'll get a lawyer. If she can't afford one, she'll get a public defender, and then the judge will set bond. And typically in murder cases, murder 1 cases, the bail's pretty high. And the bail's pretty high based on 2 things. 1, risk of flight or danger to the public. When you talk about those things with this young 19-year-old, it's really the offense that's going to drive the bail. So, you know, in a very similar case a few years ago, oddly enough, the gal's name was Alexis as well, and same type of thing with a death of an infant, and charged with murder 1, jury convicted in that case, and the gal got 16 years, and that was in New Mexico as well. The bond was set in this case at $100,000, so that means that, you know, she just has to post a bond of 10% of that, which is $10,000, and she can get out. So, and I don't know if she got her out or not, but she's looking at very serious charges. So, and this is decisions made by teenagers who are more concerned with prom than anything else, or more concerned with their, you know, peer group than they are the overall picture of what happened. And part of that is they just can't conceptualize the seriousness of what is going on. She should have told her mother right away, and her mother may have gotten pissed, but you know, that anger, that lack of approval from your parents is super powerful. So parents out there, do whatever you can to, you know, have an open, and this is easier said than done, but have an open avenue. So if they come to you with something serious, they know they're safe. Otherwise, stuff like this can happen. And kids, don't create a greater harm to avoid a lesser harm. Because the lesser harm here would have kept that little baby alive, put it up for adoption if you couldn't handle it. But there's no crime then committed, and you don't give your life away to the government. So this has just been our reaction to the teen mom, and I wish everybody well in that case, because it's just a tragic, tragic story. And I have more compassion for people than some of our commenters. She should get life, she should get the chair. This is just a tragedy. It's a tragedy all the way around, made by an incredibly immature teen. So we'll see you next time here at Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away.
23-hour lockdown, police is at my god.